Welcome to the Live Wide Open podcast. I'm your host, Randy B. Ramirez, the high performance mentor, and I'm here to lead you to become the best version of yourself. This show raises the bar for all the motorsport enthusiasts. Holding it wide open is just what we do. Being a good person is who we are, and living our lives to the fullest is the lifestyle that we choose. Yo, did you know that more horsepower doesn't always mean more speed? Like sometimes the man who takes his foot off the gas gets to the finish line first, right? And I know this might sound crazy coming from me, Mr. Wide Open, Mr. 150% all the time, Mr. Give It All You Got, Mr. Put It On Full Boost all the fucking time. I get it. You see, I get it. I would love to always drive my 1,000 horsepower truck. I would love to always drive this Silverado everywhere, right? And I actually, it was my daily driver for a very long fucking time. I was fucking till very shortly until I got my little Civic, right? That it was my daily driver. I drove this truck everywhere. I took it to places that I didn't even think I was gonna take it to, and I fucking went and I handled business, right? And I would assume that the truck was pretty much untouchable. It was like, no, it's pretty fast fucking truck. It gets down with a lot of the supercars, and it gets down with almost every single truck out there on the street. I would willing to say that it's one of the faster trucks out here in South Florida that gets daily driven, that is daily driven capable, I should say, because now it doesn't get daily driven, but that it can actually get there and go fucking put some miles, go on a fucking drag and drive, still make shit happen. That is the point, right? But the truth, right? Here's where the truth started to relate to me, right? Is that, yeah, this truck makes tons of horsepower, right? But then I wasn't really making the good use out of it, right? Like a lot of times here in South Florida, it's fucking raining. And if you're trying to haul ass in the rain, especially with a 1,000 horsepower truck, you ain't gonna get nowhere. Especially when that thing is only rear wheel drive. Especially when you're on some fucking street tires. Especially when the tires are pretty much bald all the time because I'm always fucking peeling out and doing burnouts. You see, the reality was that I wasn't maximizing, I should say, my truck for its full capability, right? Like, and if you compare that to my little Civic, where it only makes 200 horsepower versus 1,000 horsepower, in the rain, my Civic will fucking dust my truck. The reason why it will dust my truck every single time is because my Civic actually gets traction in the rain despite it being front wheel drive. Yeah, it'll spin a little bit in first gear, and you throw it in the second hard, it'll probably spin a little bit, but it still keeps going, right? You see, the reason why it will beat my 1,000 horsepower truck when it makes only 200 horsepower, fucking significantly different, is because it can actually put down the power and use it to its advantage, right? And so transitioning into life, because I always like to connect more sports with life and getting ahead and becoming your best version of yourself and doing more and being more so that you can become better than you are right now, right? And so transitioning this into life, just like traction matters in cars, right? In motorsports and bikes and everything, traction is fucking absolutely important, right? In life, your stability, your strategy, the way you roll, the way that you act, who you are around. It all matters in life. Like it really does. You see, power without control, it equals chaos. Like you can have all the drive, you can have all the ambition, you can have all the energy in the world. But if you can't put that shit down effectively, then you're gonna spin out of control. Like you can have like all the drive, all the ambition, all the energy, all the shit in the world, but if you're constantly hanging around with people who don't have that, your baseline is going to get lowered to those people. That's why you say, like, you could be fit as fuck and you start hanging around with people who are not fit. Eventually, you're going to be not fit too. It's like you could be very financially wealthy. Maybe you're blessed, right? You start hanging around people who make a lot of bad decisions financially, and sooner or later, you're going to be exposed to lowering your baseline of what you expect your financial stability to be, right? It's just how the game rolls. Power without control equals chaos, right? Like you can't put it all down effectively and expect that you're not going to spin out of control. Like sometimes you gotta actually pull back. Like think about it. Like we've all known the guy who's working 80 plus hour weeks. I used to be this guy, like working every 80 plus hour weeks, chasing the money, fucking just work, 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 work. But fucking doesn't realize, and maybe he does, but he's too fucking, his ego is too up his ass, because this used to be me, to fucking admit that he's literally destroying his health. That he's literally destroying his relationships, that he's literally destroying his marriage, that he's literally destroying himself. Because if he were to die tomorrow, like who would fucking care about him when all he cared about was his work? Right? He didn't care about showing up for his family. He didn't care about being there for important dates. He didn't care about working on his relationship. He didn't care about working on himself. You see, like that horsepower without traction, like literally, I was that guy. Like that horsepower without traction, it was literally burning rubber, but it's not moving you forward. Literally, you're there spinning your wheels. You're putting all this work and effort, killing every other area of your life that's important, that it matters, because you got your fucking ass too far up your ego, or your ego too far up your ass to actually admit to yourself and to look at yourself in the mirror and realize that you're fucking spinning out of control. You see, the strength of strategy over speed, my brother, is so critical in our lives. It's like in racing, the fastest car doesn't always win. It really doesn't. You would think that the fastest car always wins, but the reality is that the fastest car doesn't always win. It's the one who manages the corners, right? It's the one who manages the timing. It's the one who manages the traction. It's the one who manages the reaction times. It's the one who puts it all together as a package and shows up as a winning individual at the end that fucking takes the win, right? Like if the fastest car can't get the corners right, can't get the timing right, can't get the traction right, right? Doesn't matter how fast he is, right? Like towards the end of the race, he probably is gonna run out of room to catch the other guy up, because the other guy's been finessing it. He's been making it happen. He's been doing the corners right. He's having the timing right. He's had traction the full time. Versus the guy who's just spinning his wheels, giving all the horsepower he got, just fucking redlining all the time, just fucking burning rubber, not making fucking real serious moves in the areas of life that matter to him. He's gonna lose in the long term. You see, life's parallel to this, right? Like instead of always trying to floor it in every area of life, like know when to ease off. Like know when playing the long game is the key here. Like know when it's time to admit to yourself, yo, maybe these 80-hour work weeks that I'm putting in, maybe that shit's gonna drive me to the ground. Literally to the fucking grave. Like, man, I know individuals who work their asses off and don't do anything else, right? And if they were to die tomorrow, they literally wouldn't be happy with themselves because of the way they're living life. I used to be this guy. Question yourself, is that you? It's like, think about it, like the businessman who invests slow and steady, his systems will win long term, versus the guy who's consistently after some fast get rich pausing schemes and all this bullshit, all this fast ways of make cash. Like that shit doesn't last. That shit dies fast. The reason why it dies fast is because life is a long race. Think about life like if it was a marathon, not a sprint. Like anyone could redline for a season, bro. Anyone could give it all they got, but then they burn out. You see, endurance takes pacing yourself. And actually, to be a high-performing individual, if you look up the definition, it means being a high-performing individual, meaning performing at a very high level for very long, extended periods of time. It doesn't mean that you're performing at a very high level for a very short burst of time. That is not a true high-performing individual. A true high-performing individual is a motherfucker who gives it all, who plays at the very high level for long fucking periods of time. It doesn't get burnt out. And the only reason to do that is by looking at life as a marathon, not as a sprint, right? It's about pacing yourself. It's about analyzing. It's about seeing what's working, what's not. It's about analyzing the areas in your life that matter the most. It's like, man, when I'm training for a triathlon, I literally get like how I am right now. I'm training for the next Ironman. Like the next Ironman 78.3 is in December. I got like a little over 3 months right now to train for it. And I, like, you know, if I think that I got all this time, I'll just slack and I'll slack and I'll slack. But I gotta put the game into play. Like if I'm just blasting through the weekend with a little bullshit ass workout, that shit is not gonna create the endurance that I need come the day of the race. The day of the race is going to take me, I'm shooting for sub 6, so something in the 5-hour mark. A fucking 100% of the time, giving it all I got for less than 6 hours. That shit right there doesn't happen just by me going through one weekend and doing a little what I thought was hardcore. No, this takes consistency. This takes me showing up every day. This takes me taking care of my sleep, taking care of my rest, taking care of my routines, taking care of what I'm putting in my body, of what I'm eating, of nutrition, hydration, on top of actually the physical exercise that it takes to get ready for a fucking triathlon. It's a marathon, not a sprint, my brother. You see, the key goal here, the key point that I'm trying to make is that the goal is not just to look fast in the short term, bro. Anybody can fucking take some steroids or fucking put on the whatever game they want just to look fucking fly in the short term. That shit is not finishing strong. That shit is not becoming the best person that you can be. That is not leading by example. That is not showing everything that you've got. That's actually cheating the game. Like in the long run, how you become a badass husband, how you become a badass father, how you become a badass in your career, how you can become a badass with the most important things that matter to you, in your physique, in your health, in your self-mastery, in your passions, in your motorsport hobbies, and everything. It's by going all in. It's by putting a plan to the play, about strategizing, about knowing that this shit is a marathon, it's not a sprint, and it's gonna take some days where you're gonna have to put in the work even though you don't wanna put it in the work. Actually, the fucking truth of the matter is that most of the time you're not gonna feel like putting in the work. But that is why they call it self-mastery, because when you can push yourself through the long-term game and show up after, and show up, 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 but in all areas of your life, not in just one little area and being a one-dimensional douchebag. Anyone could do that. In all areas of your life, that is when you become a fucking gangster. That's when you become a warrior. That's when you become a leader that your family's proud of. And so my question for you as we wrap up this episode is this, my brother. Where in your life are you redlining without traction? And what would happen if you just eased off the throttle just enough to actually start moving forward, just enough to actually start getting some traction, just enough to actually start getting some momentum in your life? And my challenge for you this week is I want you to, that area that you brought up to your mind where you're redlining without traction, right? Like, what would this week look like for you, right? If you stop burning rubber. Meaning, if you actually worked on your health this week. Meaning, if you actually got more rest this week. Meaning, if you actually showed up early to work this week. Meaning, if you actually cared and not just said that you cared, but showed her that you cared for your wife this week. If you actually made those conscious adjustments this week and showed up for the areas that most matter to you, how different would this week be for you? You see, ease off the horsepower and focus on the traction, my brother, and watch your gains multiply. Watch your gains expand. Watch how when you literally stop giving so much, and pull back a little bit and really see and strategize and actually see that you're putting the power down to the pavement and the areas that matter the most to you in your life, how things actually start making happen. How things actually start making sense. How things actually start feeling like you're on fucking fire. Because my brother, power is nothing without control. Winning in life isn't about who's got the biggest engine, who's got the most horsepower, who's got the biggest fucking balls. Like, winning in life, it's about who can put their power down consistently, mile after mile after mile after mile, until they cross the finish line. That is the motherfucker who wins. That is the motherfucker who keeps going. That is the motherfucker who motherfuckers look up to. Is that gonna be you? Only you will know. Yo, I'm driving the checkered flag deep into the ground and I'm calling every wide open warrior who refuses to accept nothing but the best in their life. It's time to break free from everything that's been holding you back and become the badass motherfucker that you were meant to be. This Live Wide Open movement is the mission that God has tasked me with, and helping you level up is exactly what I'm here to do. Hit that subscribe button so you never miss another episode. And if today's message hit home, my brother, it's time to contribute to the growth of this mission. Send this podcast episode to another man, to another motorhead, to another gearhead, to another warrior who's on the mission, same mission as we are, because a better life for our family is non-negotiable. People are counting on you, dog, and it's time to get to fucking work. Let's go.